Hey guys, Amar here, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be my second video. I hope you guys enjoyed the first one. And today we're going to be talking about a car that's very special to me. I've owned this car for the last 3 years, and it's my personal Ferrari 458 Italian. Alright guys, so if you're looking to buy a Ferrari 458, I can give you some of my feedback. I've owned the car for 3 years. I can tell you what I like about it, what I hate about it. I'm also going to tell you what I paid for it, what I think it's worth now, some of the maintenance costs, what it costs to run a Ferrari, and why this is one of my favorite Ferraris of all time. And not only because I've owned it, but anyways, let's get into it. So when I was looking to buy a Ferrari 458, I cared about two things: the red exterior and a tan interior. Actually, that's not true. I also cared about the carbon fiber steering wheel. So those are the only three things I cared about. But when I bought the car, I didn't know you could buy $150,000 worth of options. So what are some of those options? I'm going to go over those first. All right, guys, I'm on the inside of the car now, obviously, and I wanted to share some of the features that this car has, and some of the features I didn't get, but I could have got if I knew about them at that time. But the most important ones that I have, or the ones that you need if you're buying a 458, is the carbon fiber steering wheel. This is a must with the 458. If you don't have the carbon fiber steering wheel, I would not buy a 458. Some of the other options my car had was this carbon fiber center steering wheel, console. It also had front and back sensors. I think those are pretty important too, especially when it's dark outside or you're in tight spaces. Those sensors really help. Other than that, I don't think my car had any other options. Oh wait, that's a lie. It does have the electric seats, which are a $5,000 option, and it does have the two-tone interior, which was another, I believe it was a $2,000 option. But I made a list here of all the options you could have got if you wanted to. Like I mentioned, this is $4,500 if you want this as an option. If you want full electric seats like I have, these are $5,100. If you don't want the electric seats and you want racing seats instead, those are $7,500 seats. If you want iPod installation, which I don't even think is a thing anymore, that's $800. The front and rear sensors that I have, those are about $2,200. You do need those. If you want navigation, it's not the best navigation, but you can get that. I believe it's $3,300. Cruise control, yes, you don't even get cruise control. You pay $280,000 for a Ferrari, and if you want cruise control, it's an extra $1,000. You can get the whole dashboard here covered in carbon fiber. I don't know if unless you're really a enthusiast or you really want that kind of stuff. It's a $6,800 option. So that's it for the interior. But you know what? If you're looking to buy this car, honestly, you just need the carbon fiber steering wheel. Some extra carbon fiber like the console or here would be nice. Other than that, the only thing I regret not getting is the upgraded stereo system. The stereo system in here is so bad. It's like wearing headphones, and not very nice headphones. So that's it for the interior, but other than that, it's one of the most comfortable, nicest interiors I've ever had in a car. Even the roof is leather. The whole dash is leather. So guys, I showed you the interior of the car and what options it has and what options you should look for, but let's talk about the exterior now. So this car only had two options on the exterior. It had the five spoke sports wheels. That's about a $5,000 option. The Scuderia badge. So you see Ferraris all the time and you would assume that these are standard with the Ferrari. They're not. There's a $1,500 option, and they stand for Scuderia Ferrari. So it's a racing division of Ferrari. But some of the options that you can get with your car that you probably don't want because they're a fortune is you can get this whole engine finished in carbon fiber. You can get the airbox and the side panels, all finished in carbon fiber. That's I believe it's about $7,000 option that you could get with the car. Another option that you don't want that you can get, get this back piece here finished in carbon fiber. I believe that's another $5,000-$6,000. A lot of people do get this option though. They do get the rear diffuser here finished in carbon fiber. That's another I believe a $6,000 to $7,000 option. Honestly, you don't need that. This car does have up to $150,000 worth of options. You don't need all those options. So some of the other options you can get is you can get the side skirts finished in carbon fiber as well. I believe that's a $2,000 option. And if you really want, you can get the sills, the side sills here finished in carbon fiber. As you can see, my car doesn't have any of those, and I don't really care if I had those. So all I really cared about the sports wheels and the Scuderia badge. I would really want those. So in front of the car, the only thing you can change here is the winglets. You can get finished those in carbon fiber as well. They're about $2,300 option. Another option for the trunk is you can get this whole thing finished in suede. Why, I don't know, but you can get finished in suede. And if you really want Ferrari to sell you their separate luggage for this, specially made for this trunk, I believe it's another $6,000. Another option that you don't need. So what are some of the costs associated with the Ferrari 458? So if I owned it for 3 years, and the only thing I've really done is oil changes. They cost me about $650. I take it to my own local mechanic. I don't take it to Ferrari because I don't want to get bent over. That's the only thing I get done yearly. And the other thing I get done is I get the brake spud every other year. So my bill has never really been over $950. So I do have another story though. It was a winter time. I took the car out, massive mistake. I got hit by a rock, small little crack. So I was like, why don't I take it to the window repair shop? I took it there. The lady came back. She's like, I accidentally put too much weight on it and the crack spread. It wasn't a big crack. It was a very small crack. I'll show you guys. So I was like, don't worry, I'm going to call Ferrari because I don't want to pay the $3,500 deductible. I called Ferrari and they're like $12,998. And would you like to come pick it up tomorrow? I told them to call them back. I never called them back. I got the crack filled in. I just left it as is. So needless to say, I could have spent 14 grand getting a new windshield, but I didn't get it. Another thing I want to talk about with the Ferrari 458 or even Ferrari in general is how good the paint quality is. So this car is a 2011, so it's about 9 years old. I'm sure it was made in 2010, so it's about 10 years old. But the paint on this thing is absolutely perfect. I have polished it. I have carbon ceramic it myself. Carbon ceramic. Is that a word? Who cares? Fucking dad. Fuck. So the car has been ceramic coated, and I did it myself. I polished it myself and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to touch on how good the quality of the paint is on this car, even compared to my Range Rover or the Viper. This thing is next level when it comes to quality. So, you watch all these reviews on the Ferrari 458 and you kind of want, they all tell you the same thing. It's the most, amazing thing to drive. The naturally aspirated V8 gives you, crazy amounts of torque down low, which it does. Most of it comes down around 3,200 RPM. So it doesn't really matter like how slow or fast you're going. And if you're around 3,000 RPM, this car will pull in any gear. So, even coming out of corners on regular streets, or if you're not even at a track, it feels like it's so much more powerful than it is, because it doesn't really have much torque. It only has about 398 pound-feet of torque, but about 80% of it is available at 3,200 RPM. So it makes the car feel a lot faster. But it is really fast. 0 to 60 in 3.2 quarter mile, and 10.1 in 132 miles. Even like to today's standard, that's pretty ridiculous, to be honest. But driving it every day, I've driven this to work lots of times. I've taken it, all around town, $2,000 with 2,300 kilometers or 3,200 kilometers on it. I put on 21,000 kilometers. Never had a problem, never had an issue. This car has never even made a tiny bit of noise where I'm like, oh, what was that? Like my Range Rover, every other week there's a new noise that pops up and I'm panicking. This car, I've never had that issue, ever. And my tires are kind of bald on this, but if they weren't, bald, this car really puts the power down. Compared to my ZR1, which even with worn tires, first gear, good luck. Second gear, you can go 100 in that car and not be able to put the power down. bang, and the Huracan especially. It's the same noise over and over and over. In this car, it seems like it's so much more natural. The engine just kind of does whatever it wants, and I can have those backfires going for minutes. Okay, maybe I take that back. Maybe not minutes. Maybe like a good 30 seconds. I can go from fourth, third, second to first, and make it crackle the whole way. Another great feature about this car is the steering feel. It's probably the best steering feel I've ever had. Like, you know, I'm just gonna put it to sports mode so you guys can hear me. So, steering feel. Man, you turn it an inch this way or an inch that way, it feels like the car dives right in. Makes you feel like you're part of the car. I've never had a sensation feel like that, steering feel like that before. A lot of steering wheels, there's a lot of, a dead space, or there's a travel and nothing really happens, but not with this car. It's got some weight behind it. It makes you kind of feel like you're part of the car. You're turning the car. You're turning with the car. It's just a sensational feel. And then there's a throttle response. If I put my foot down this much, the car responds in that way. There's no bit of dead space in there. The Ferrari F8 that I drove last week, I was taking a right turn, and the car didn't go forward, it went backwards. And I realized that Ferrari has now put about this much space in the pedal feel just so you wouldn't be lunging off the line. The only issue with this car is if you're not experienced with the 458 and you're sitting at a red light, you're looking to take a right turn, and you don't want to accelerate the hard, it will lunge forward, which I've gotten used to. But that's a complaint someone might have who's only driven this car for a little while. But other than that, if you're taking it through the roads, through the gears, and that's another thing that people underestimate. A lot of these new cars are so powerful. The gear ratios are so high. You can do 100 in the first gear. I don't want to do 100 in the first gear. I want to go through the gears. I want to feel the power, and I want to enjoy it. I kind of wanted to mention the brakes. They're one of the first generation Ferrari carbon ceramic. I believe after 2009, Ferrari started giving all the cars as a standard feature the carbon ceramic brakes. And this was one of the first Ferraris that came with it. I believe the Scuderia Ferrari was the first one. But what I want to say is they're amazing brakes. The size of them up front, I believe they're 15.7. In the back, they're 14.3 or 14.5. To give you a comparison, the ZR1's got 15.5 all the way around, which were the exact same. So that car, the exact same brakes as a Ferrari Enzo. Hey guys, thank you for watching my review. I just want to end off by telling you a little bit about my car. When I first was buying a Ferrari 458, I only cared about a few things. I wanted the red exterior, I wanted the sports wheels, I wanted the carbon fiber steering wheel, and the Scuderia badges. To me, if you're buying a 458, those are pretty essential things. I know about all the small, not small, but expensive accessories and options you can get with this car, and honestly, those 5 are all you need. You don't need anything else. The interior color and the exterior color are your preference, but I really think those 5 things make the Ferrari 458 really, really a Ferrari 458. So I've driven this car about 17,000 kilometers. It is hands down the best car I've ever driven. Maintenance wise, I've only got oil changes. I've only bled the brakes every other year. So from that standpoint, it's been absolutely amazing.